Lock West in the morning with Ron C. P when your legs cooking, they stirring the pot. We talking that fly shit, got it popping like hot grease. The other stations is cool, but trust they not these.
Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome to the Spin Room. I'll be your man, Big Pee Wee. We're going to have a wonderful show today for you guys. Stay tuned. It's a lot going on in the world today. We're going to get into that also. But let me introduce my crew that's always holding me down, my ride or dies. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for my girl, Big Les.
What up, people? I'm blessed today and every day.
Miss Everything J. Tasha.
What it do, baby boo?
What it do, baby boo? And my girlfriend's favorite DJ, not my girlfriend's favorite DJ, but your girlfriend's favorite DJ, DJ Ron C. What up, homeboy?
What up, cuz? There's nothing but crip over here, man.
Yeah, all right, man. That's why you're looking out the window, huh?
I'm active, man. You had to look. I said, yo, make sure anyone listening here.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on. First and foremost, how's everybody doing?
Stressed and emotional and heartbroken and angry. Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Same here, man. I'm telling you, man. I was just telling you guys earlier, man. When I heard him cry out for his mom, man, that touched me. That really touched me. All the genius I have in me, man, just went out the window. Because I was like, wow, that hurt.
Him as in George Floyd, for those who are just checking in, but absolutely understood, man. I'm just happy to see you two, beautiful black men, healthy, strong, and here. And my girl, Tosh, you too. We ain't have to fight nobody today. Protect our men, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad everybody's here safe and sound.
Yeah,
Right.
man. I appreciate that. And I'm I'm a piggyback off of Les. I'm just glad that to see you guys also, and you guys are doing well, family's doing well, and everything like that. So let's get the show on the road, man. Let's get into Big Les's entertainment report.
Straight off your timeline, here's Big Les with your entertainment news on the Spin Room.
Well, not much of anything entertaining going on this week, I have to say. I mean, really,
Right.
between COVID and now what they're calling COVID, police on video, the dual pandemic, that's what we're dealing with. We've been watching a whole lot of protesting going on every single day and night. I feel like I'm watching The Purge or that movie, Wag the Dog. It's unreal, partially the Twilight Zone, and I'm scared every time I wake up. It's just going to be a massacre or a bloodbath or something worse going on. So again, people out here protesting the murder of George Floyd that happened in police in cities like Chicago, New York, DC, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Miami. They have been on a serious uprising. Unfortunately, yes, we have seen some looting, burning, the destruction, but people are angry. This has been decades and decades upon decades of disrespect, inhumane treatment toward African-American people, people of color. The crowds have been absolutely diverse. They've been catching white people on the cameras, looting, jumping on cars, smashing cop car windows, spray painting, holding picket signs, throwing rocks. And sometimes it's kind of hard to tell if they are for us or trying to, or plants to make it look like the disaster of what's happening is worse than what it is. So how do you guys feel about when you see a non-peaceful, non-person of color in these protests? Ron?
Well, you know what? I think it's a setup, to be honest. You know what I mean? I look more into a setup part of it because, like you said, every time they're on the news, they're always talking about black folks and looting and stuff like that. But if you see, I've been seeing a lot of coverage, and most of them been white or Hispanic, and majority of whites to me. They're doing all the damage and stuff like that. So, the ones that are throwing the fireworks at the cops and stuff like that, those have been whites. I haven't seen our black folks do that kind of stuff, man. I haven't. Now, I have seen a lot of black folks doing looting and stuff, but who started it off? I think it was white folks started that off, man. I think it's a setup, to be honest. And I don't like it. I really don't, man. I understand why we're angry and I want you guys to protest, but I don't condone the violence when it comes to it. You know what I mean? It's cool, you know what I mean, to be angry and upset, but I don't think you need to go to violence and start destroying property and stuff like that just to get the point across.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of our celebrities stand up during this time. Beyonce Breonna, Drake, they've all been demanding justice for this killing of George Floyd. Jamie Foxx has been standing with George Floyd's family and former NBA friend Steven Jackson while at the rally. He actually took a flight over to Minneapolis to, join the rally. We absolutely did see T.I. and Killer Mike speak at the rally, the mayor's rally, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance's press conference that she had. We saw Killer Mike in tears. Which is very understandable. He said, quote, "It's your duty not to burn your own house down." He was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Kill your masters." And then he also said, quote, "I got a love and respect for police officers down to the original 8 police officers in Atlanta that even after becoming police had to dress in a YMCA because white officers didn't want to get dressed with the N-word." Here we are 80 years later. I watched a white officer assassinate a black man, and I know that tore your heart out. I have nothing positive to say in this moment because I don't want to be here. He's like, "I'm duty bound to be here to simply say it is your duty to not burn your house down for anger with the enemy." And then T.I., of course, took the mic at the press conference, and he also said, "Atlanta has been here for us. This is Wakanda." And he's just like, it's sacred and it must be protected. So P, when you saw those two guys speaking for Atlanta, how did that make you feel?
In all honesty, I felt for the city, and I do feel for a lot of these small business owners like in Atlanta, because you have tons of black-owned businesses that are in Atlanta and across the country. And you feel bad for them. And I'm going to piggyback off of what Ron C said. There's a lot of people that's out there that has infiltrated the cause of the nonviolent protests. And they are here to cause trouble and damage property and stuff like that. And I felt Killer Mike, especially when he teared up, is because that is one person that loves his city. Absolutely loves his city. He also loves to try to do the best for the Black community. I just kind of feel like, I just kind of feel like at the end of the day, when you kind of look at what's going on, you have some peaceful protesting that's going on, but then also you have police that's inciting problems in these positive and peaceful protesting at the same exact time. You have people that's looting and damaging people's property, and I'm glad that some Black people actually caught them on camera and videotaped them doing it and calling them out on it, because mainstream media is not going to do that. And so, again, what Killer Mike said, we got to take care of our own house first before we try to take care of somebody else's. So I'm with him.
At the time of us reporting this now, the only thing that we do know is that Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has only been charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter, and that the other officers have not been arrested at this time. They've been fired, but they have not been brought in on charges. And there's been rumors circling around on the internet, but like the major outlets like CNN have not confirmed that Derek Chauvin may have committed suicide, which a lot of people feel like that's cowardice. And even if that has happened, they still need to go get the other officers. And what's crazy in watching all of this is that we saw the CNN reporter, Omar Hernandez, who was arrested in a matter of seconds, and it took them days before they got to Derek Chauvin to arrest him, and still the other cops are running around free. So it's really crazy. And I had a discussion with someone and asking them, who brought up to me, and I don't know if this is how much value this point or this subject brings to what is going on in the light of the situation, but they felt like white women, maybe the Kardashians and all these other women who are in interracial relationships with Black men, who take the microphone every single time that there's a chance for them to have a branding opportunity or to show up in a celebrity high status, that none of them have shown up in this way. That they've all been very silent in regard to stop the violence, protect, whatever it is that they need to say. So, Tasha, how do you feel about that? I mean, finally on TV, I saw on CNN that they had a lot of white women actually in the front line protecting some of the Black men from getting hit, which was very surprising to me. We've also seen them out there looting and, doing stuff too. But how do you feel about their participation in this?
I mean, just as loud as they were for, say, their African American counterparts are winning an award or doing something that benefits them, there needs to be that same loudness, the same way they are cheering them on, the same way they need to go and protect them. Because all you hear is about a whole bunch of African American females protecting African American males, but you don't hear nothing about these white women who then again are sitting in these beautiful houses and stealing, quote unquote, our
Culture.
our culture. I want to hear them just as loud.
Yeah, absolutely. I
And you
posted.
know, but let me say this though, Les, because you brought up the Kardashians, and I'm absolutely with you on that. But I will give, you know, credit where credit is due with Kim Kardashian.
Correct.
That, you know, she is helping with reform in the prison system. A lot of the stuff she doesn't talk about, but she is putting, you know, her time and energy into that, doing it. Now the other ones I can't speak about, but you know, well, I give credit where credit is due, and she is. But at the same exact time, she does play the role, you know, to promote keeping up with the Kardashians and all that other stuff. She still does all of that. But you know, I will give her credit that, you know, she is on the front line of getting a lot of, you know, people that have been wrongfully imprisoned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I posted a video on my Instagram page earlier this week from anti-racism activist and former third grade teacher Jane Elliott. I don't know if you guys had a chance to show it, but she's in a room full of white people. And
Oh yeah, I saw that.
This is an older clip, but she asked them if they would like to receive the same treatment as a Black person, raise your hand. And of course, nobody moved. There was crickets in the audience. And then she asked them again. She said, maybe you didn't understand the question.
Hold on one second, Les. Here we go.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our Black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our Black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way Blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
Wow.
Jane Elliott has been an activist for so many decades. And I can only imagine the amount of death threats and hate mail and all this other stuff that she has gotten, you know, probably being called a nigger lover and everything else, for her just wanting equal humanity for all of us, you know, and that's an older clip. I just wonder how many of these people that we see at the protests actually voted and how many will vote. And I know there are people who are saying that, well, the vote's going to be rigged anyway, but do you even think voting has a place in what's going to happen in this election based on everything that's happened?
Of course it is. And I think at the end of the day, our folks, our ancestors, our brothers and sisters have fought so hard for us, lost lives for us to be able to be at that ballot booth, to get our vote on. So at the end of the day, since they worked so hard for it and did it for us so that now we need to continue that. And yes, we need to get to them polls. I think it's very important for us. Being rigged, I mean, this system has been rigged for centuries, you know, since how it was founded. So being rigged and cheated and raped and pillaged and all that other stuff. I mean, this is what America is all about. So, you know, until we can change some of these policies that are in place, voting in people in the legislation, like our senators, our DAs, and stuff like that, vote them in the same way that they in, vote them out if they can't do what we need them to do for the Black community.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to see Tamika Mallory at a press conference where she really brought up a lot of historical events.
I posted that.
that said, oh, that's right. That said, you know, that explained looting and how, you know, whether it was the Boston Tea Party or how we as African Americans learned looting from us because you looted our lands, you looted our country. What are your thoughts about that, Ron?
To be honest, I back again. You know, what I mean, it's sad that we in 2020 we're still going through the same stuff that we were going back in the days, man. And it's sad that we're sitting here not looting, but we out here protesting over stuff that happened in the past to us. You know, and it's got to stop someday, somewhere. And like I said, I understand, and I totally, you know, I don't condone it, the looting, but I understand the uprising and what we're trying to do. You know, it's mind-boggling to me. Like, man, how when is it going to really stop? Honestly, you know what I mean? We talk about how we are as Black folks. We want justice. We want this, but when is it going to really stop? And when is it going to, you know, when are we going to get that chance?
Well, Ron,
we had a black president, and that was dope. You know what I mean? But in the same sense, man, we're still back. We're right back again. You know what I mean, to the same shit that we've been dealing with for years. And we got to, when is it going to stop? I mean, I'm angry, man. You know, it bothers me. I have a son, and you know what I mean, and it bothers me, and I'm scared for his life. Because not, you know what I mean, even though he's older, you know what I mean, and you know, I still worry about my son, you know what I mean, because you don't know what police or whatever out there, you know what I mean, and I worry about him so much, man, and that's what made me, you know, makes me angry about what's going on right now, Les. And I know I'm probably not even answering your question, but I'm just so frustrated right now about how things are moving, and I don't have all the answers, but I just know one thing, man. It's got to stop, though. This is ridiculous, man. We've been going for years and years and years, decades of just you know, getting mistreated as Black folks. You know what I mean? And 2020, and we right back. We right back at it, man. Like right back, man. That's like a lynching, man. He murdered that guy, man. And come on, man. Justice. It has to be justice.
I say this though, Ron, and I feel the pain, brother. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we've had over 400 years of government putting laws in place to hurt the Black community, and so I think, you know, going back to what Les says, going to voting and stuff like that, that we need to change some of these laws and start holding these police officers accountable, get these laws passed to hold these police officers accountable for their actions and stuff like that.
And it's not just about getting the laws passed, it's about also getting more African American and people of color in the offices to have the power to help facilitate these changes of the law.
Yes, and you know, I said this, you know, to a buddy of mine the other day. You absolutely 100% right, Les. And I told him, you know, the other day, I said, you know what bothers me the most, like really gets underneath my skin, is the fact that you see these politicians, senators, mayors, governors, and stuff like that on TV doing press conferences and doing radio and TV interviews about what's going on. But my question to you guys is, and what the newscasters are not asking is, now that you see what's going on, now that we have your ear and eyes, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to help fix this problem? That's my question. What are you going to do? Because you can sit up here and do all these press conferences and talk about the curfew, and we got the police, we got the firefighters, they're here to help, and this, that, and the other. Okay, but what are you going to do that's going to help turn some of this stuff that's going on right now? Because at the end of the day, when election time comes up, you're going to want our vote.
Yeah. It's been intense. And right now, because we're hit with the double whammy of the COVID and this COVID, and people are out here protesting without masks, we don't even know what the next round of this whole pandemic is going to look like. So I just want everybody out there who's listening to please be safe. You know, I get that you all want to make your point and stuff, but please do it safely, wisely, take care of your health first, stay protected, get your point across. And speaking of this COVID, just for a second, the restaurant Escobar in Castleberry Hill, which is in the Atlanta area, owned by rapper 2 Chainz, and Michael Snoop Dillard, has violated the state's COVID-19 capacity limits, so twice in one day, and was shut down by the Georgia State Patrol and the Department of Public Safety. So Brian Kemp, who's the governor, recently had increased the party size at restaurants from 6 to 10 people per table, dining for 500 square feet to 10 patrons, and he violated. So people are out there so busy trying to get business back opening that they're not adhering to the social distancing. And people have to realize how serious this really is. The whole world has been shut down by a switch. So it's not personal. Nobody's attacking your business personally. It's the whole world. So don't contribute to the problem. Let's try and be smart about it and get out of this as safe as we can, you know. In talking about these riots and stuff too, we were also talking about people who are business owners actually taking advantage of this opportunity to maybe send somebody in there to burn their place down, so that they can collect the insurance, so that because there's no pandemic and business is going down anyway, this way they can get out and still be above the red, you know? So there's a lot of factors that are happening right now, you guys. In final words, Tasha, what are you hoping happens out of this?
I honestly wish that people can see, or, you know, white America can see that we are not resting on this, that there needs to be a change, and that it will continue to happen unless the change happens.
Pete?
Stop killing us, please.
You know, Jay Tasha said it. You know, for me, at the end of the day, it's respect one another. And I kind of feel like with these police officers, well, I should say police officers, law enforcement. And I think, you know, you guys really need to vet some of these police officers. That, like, this guy had 18 citations against him, and 3 of them were still open. And then another one, he had 3 open citations on him. This type of stuff, when this happens, there needs to be something that's done, desk duty, until these things are cleared up. You can't put rogue officers back on the street and stuff like that. And it just, you know, for me, it's just really, at the end of the day, I'm with Ron, the fact that, you know, as a Black man in this country, that, you know, we truly have to be careful. It's sad that we have to look over our shoulder every minute. If we go into a different neighborhood, you know, the police can be called up on us. And, you know, that could be a death sentence. And in America, that shouldn't happen, you know. So I just, for me, my last words is treat people with respect. And, you know, and I just want due process for these, you know, for the family of George Floyd.
Ron, your final words?
Man, everybody just stay safe, man. And once again, man, my condolences to the George family and friends and all. She got to stop, man. That's all. I just really, like I said, man, I have a son, and I worry about him. I always worry about him, but now at this point, man, I'm like I almost want to be right next to him the whole time. You know what I mean? I want him to be on my side, and that's sad because he's older. He's you know, he's 20. He can do what he wants to do at this point.
He's your baby forever.
Yes. Yeah. Man, like I'm telling you, man, I'm really just touched by this, man, because it hurts because I have a son, and I saw my son down there getting his throat stepped on. I looked at his face and I just saw my son. That's what bothers me so much. So, but just stay safe, man, and like I said, we don't need violence. Just protest and try to get some change in this system.
Yeah. My final words, I guess, is I just want everybody to be safe. If the vote is going to matter, then all these people take your energy to the polls, and let's get this president out. Let's get the right people in place, you know, who can make these laws change. For those who are out there protesting, protest wisely and safely, protect yourself. You know, if anything, take it against the police department in Minneapolis, go to the homes of, not that I'm inciting a riot over there, but you know, the people that are primarily involved, those officers who have not been arrested. I'd rather see you attack their houses than the target down the block that the whole community needs. So everybody be safe, take care of yourself. We're still in a pandemic, help your neighbors if you can. And the Spin Room loves you guys. And that's it.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we truly appreciate you guys rocking with the Spin Room crew. Don't forget, you can follow us on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and we are on YouTube where you'll get this whole entire clip. Please share it, subscribe, and tell a friend. I'm your man, Big Pee Wee. That's Jay Tasha. That's Big Les. That's DJ Ron C. You guys be safe in these streets, and may God bless you guys.